Bum, bum, bum.
Monkey in the middle.
All right, we're going to cover these new gas prices. They're going to be changing next year. Because the math wasn't really mathing, but we're going to go over it with the correct questions. Because when you try to look it up, it tries to tell you you're not going to pay a single penny more or less until you ask the right question. So let's start here. I asked it, with the new changes at the pump in Michigan in 2026, what would the base price have to be in the new equation compared to the old equation in order for the prices at the pump to equal out? Basically, what would you have to pay in Michigan, considering the changes they're making, in order for the 2026 price to even out, right? So let's just go over this. For the prices at the pump to equal out in Michigan under the new 2026 tax structure, the base price of a gallon of gas would have to be approximately $3.43 per gallon. That's pre-tax, right? And it tells you why. The changes, which take effect January 1st, 2026, restructure how fuel is taxed, aiming for a revenue neutrality at the pump. We're going to pay a little more until we pay more overall. Just a little tidbit there. Old equation. The total price included the base price of gas, plus a 31 cents per gallon state fuel tax, an 18.4 cent federal fuel tax, which that doesn't change, by the way, and a 6% sales tax based on the price per gallon. Michigan has a 6% sales tax on pretty much everything. We have a sales tax in the state, right? New equation in 2026, January 1st. The total price includes the base price of gas. Same thing, right? Same base price. I mean, it may fluctuate depending on market and whatnot, but it's roughly the same price from one day to the next. It's pretty much not going to change. So this is basically from like December 31st to January 1st. What's going to happen? So that's going to stay the same. It's going to have a higher state fuel excise tax. Okay, so it's going to go up from 31 cents per gallon to 52.6 cents per gallon. All right, so they're taxing you more under this fuel excise tax. We're getting getting taxed heavier here, including the initial inflation adjustment for whatever the initial inflation adjustment is. That's what's going to go off of, and they do change from quarter to quarter and whatnot. An 18.4 cent federal tax that doesn't change. It's the same as the other one, and no sales tax. So they're not going to. So they're going to add here, and they're going to take this off. So what does that mean? What are they taking off, and what are they adding? The key difference is the shift from percentage-based sales tax, which increased with the price of gas. Basically saying they're taking the percentage-based, the 6% sales tax off, because every time the dollar went up for gas, it went up, 6% right alongside it, to a fixed cents per gallon excise tax, which provides more stable, dedicated funding for roads. That's what they're saying. And this is for the roads, guys. Any footnotes here for that? Taxes on gas are changing in Michigan. Here's a mlive.com article if you want to read it. It's from October 27th, 2025. So check that one out if you want to read it. To find the base price where the total price in both scenarios is equal, we can set up the equation. Ready? Let's do this. Old total price, new total price. Okay, this is when they equal out. This is how the base is going to look. Base price is this from the old way. You got your old excise tax, 31 cents, federal tax roughly 18, plus your 6% sales tax, right? Boom, 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 blah, blah, blah. They give you the math there, how to add it up on a calculator. The new equation, which is just the base price, plus the new 52, almost 53 cent excise tax, plus your federal. No state, obviously, gives you your new tax total, right? So once they do all this math, this means if the pre-tax base price of a gallon of gas is approximately $3.11, right? If it's $3.11 right here on these P's, then the total price for the consumer will be roughly the same under both systems. This is the base price I requested. Yes, it is. So I wanted to know at what price would it basically equal out, where we wouldn't see almost a change at all if the base price was the same. And that's at $3.11. If the base price for gas is under that, we're going to slowly trickle off into the negative. And if the base price starts getting higher, we're going to slowly trickle up into the positive for our gains, what we're gaining or losing as far as money in our pockets. And dude, it's not a lot. And honestly, it's not my main concern. But again, I asked, how will Michigan's gas tax changes affect fuel prices for consumers if the base price is lower or higher than $3.43 per gallon? So it's basically going to say consumers save money. If the base price is higher than the break-even point, like I was saying, you'd save money because the new tax is a fixed amount. It doesn't increase as the prices go up, which is what sales tax does. So it goes over it a little bit. And if it's lower, under the new system, if a fixed excise tax is higher than the tax paid on lower priced fuel in the old system. When gases are low, the prices are low, the 6% sales tax amounted to a smaller tax burden per gallon. Like I was saying, we go lower than that, we start paying a little more. We go higher than that base price, we start paying a little less. So I said, considering the gas prices in the country and specifically in Michigan right now, how would that affect us today at the pump?
Today, Junior?
As of November 11th, 2020, Michigan's average gas price is around $3.10 to $3.11, right where we would break even, right? What a perfect time to add that amount. They basically figured out how much could we actually add to where nobody's going to bitch. That's what it really feels like. And I wanted to do the same calculation pre-tax, which it did for me. I just want to make sure the numbers matched up, and they do. $3.41. I thought it was like, I did my math, and it was around $3.60 a gallon. All right, I don't know about this math. You can do the math yourself. It tells you how to do it on here. I thought my math was a little better than that, but maybe I'm not as good as I thought. So basically, what does this mean? What do you guys think about this? Because my main concern with this isn't necessarily the price. In fact, I don't care at all if it's going to break even. My concern is what they're saying they're going to use it for. Okay? And the reason I say that is because didn't Michigan just recently pass a law for pot smokers that affected the road taxes? Yes, Michigan has recently passed a law that links new revenue from marijuana taxes directly to road funding. So, this is part of the same overall legislative package that changed the gas. Oh. So they're straight up telling us. So let's check out this House bill for it. Governor signed a bill into law that imposed a new 24% excise tax on wholesale marijuana. We raised the road excise tax by 20 cents. That's 40 cents more per dollar. 24% more here. 20% more there. That's 40% more on those dollars. Our state is going to be rolling in money. Okay? All I'm saying is prepare for the corruption to overflow everywhere. Because when this much money is flowing around, there are going to be people trying to take it all. Believe me, it's how it's always been. So just keep an eye on that. Keep your ears open. And, as taxpayers, we really got to pay attention to this stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this coverage. If you did, subscribe. This isn't a video game. And I'm probably going to be doing more stuff like this. So leave me a like. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about this. And we will see you guys on the next one.